Okay, here we are at a very, very important training for Facebook ads. Now, the training has been a bit delayed, so I apologize for that, but the reason is because Facebook updates their policies pretty frequently, and they were doing a lot of adjustments and changes to their actual Facebook campaign process. Now, let me preface this by saying this technique that I'm about to teach you is very specific, and it's something that our company has been doing basically since we're able to figure this out. It's been almost a year now, and here's one of the things about marketing online. You know, I have a lot of very, very wealthy friends and big name marketers, that obviously understand all the different dynamics to marketing online, or at least most of them. And what happens all the time, and this is me included of course, is if we find something that works, typically we'll do only that pretty much. And I have to say that with this Facebook campaign technique that you're about to learn, it works extraordinarily well. And you can drive traffic to anything that you want to. I don't care if you have a website, I don't care if you have a squeeze page, a splash page, an opt-in page, a blog. It doesn't matter what it is, what type of web destination that you have. Driving traffic in this way through Facebook is absolutely unprecedented in the way that it's targeted. You can target things very, very specifically, and Facebook having 1 billion people as members, you'd be nuts not to want to step in the way of just a tiny bit of that traffic. We are making thousands and thousands of dollars a day using this technique, okay? So, the reason why it's so different is because you're actually going to be, you're not looking at the little Facebook ads that you see on the right hand side of Facebook every time you go into the actual site. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people actually being able to engage on their timeline with your post. Okay? You will have to have a fan page, but that is only the foundation for your campaign posts. In other words, the people won't be actually engaging with your fan page at all, although over time you will get likes peripherally and a lot of engagement just because people will inadvertently go back to your website or your fan page over time. But in the beginning especially, it serves only as a foundation for these campaign posts, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. As you can see here, I'm going to be logging into one of my Facebook accounts, and what's going to happen, and the reason why I'm doing this is because anytime anybody logs into Facebook, the first thing that you see is your timeline here, which is basically these posts that you see down the center of your screen. Okay, so before you go to your profile or anything like that at all, this is what you'll see is your timeline. Now, these posts that you're going to see are basically from friends, family, things that you're interested in, and basically, they pop up based on your preferences within Facebook. Now, you can change some of those things. You can change what you see, etc., but for the purpose of this video, just understand that the timeline is what we're going to be talking about here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create posts that appear just like these do, okay? And the image is the first thing that will capture somebody's attention. In other words, just like if you were writing an email, and of course you have to have a great headline, otherwise, even if you're selling the greatest thing since sliced bread, people will not even open it, right? Same thing with newspapers or magazines. The titles is what draws people in. So on Facebook ads, just remember that your photo is everything, because initially when they look at this and they like that, or they think it's interesting, they click on that, and this is the post And this is what it would look like when people are actually engaging with it. Again, they're not actually engaging with the fan page, which is up here, although it does happen over time. But initially, they're looking at your image, and more importantly, they're looking at this content here. Okay? And that is where you're going to get some absolutely incredible engagement. Alright? So let me just give you an example. And the way that I find my fan pages is typically I'll go up here in the right hand corner, and we'll go into all of this in a minute, but up here in the right hand corner you're going to be using this little arrow a lot. Right now I'm just going to do a little drop down here and go to one of my fan pages, just to give you an example of the way these work. Okay, just as a for instance, here is a post that we've run a campaign on, and I created it November 16th, so it's about a month old, but we only actually had it active for about a week, maybe a week and a half in total. Okay, now this particular post is geared towards a specific program, but I just want you to check out the engagement, and you can see, here's the content, and you create this like you would any other post on a fan page, and again, we'll get back into that in a minute. But here's the content and the image, but here's what I want you to see. 543 likes, 27 comments, and the great thing about this, again, is you can tell the people exactly what you want to tell them within your content here. You can ask them to do whatever you like. If you want to send them to a squeeze page, a web page, or if you just want them to comment below, it's up to you. Okay? But again, when somebody actually engages with this post, even though it's on the fan page right now, when they actually see it, the people that are specifically targeted for the post see it in their timeline. Okay? So they're going to be seeing it here in their timeline, like we explained earlier. Okay? But they actually engage with the image. Okay, once they see that image. In this post, for instance, this is for the country of Papua New Guinea, and this is their flag. So when they see this flag in their timeline, they're like, well, what's that? And I've got a little headline here that gets their attention, but once they actually click on that image, then they engage like this. Okay, so when you actually open this up, they're actually looking and engaging in your content. Okay, that's the most important thing. Okay, and again, this works extremely, extremely well. I don't care if you're building lists. I mean, just to give you some perspective, when we use this to build lists, we typically get at least 50 subscribers a day, and that's with spending only $5 a day. Again, we'll get into that more in a minute. Alright, so theoretically, I wanted to explain to you what exactly takes place and why these work so well. Okay, and again, we're not looking at the ads on the side of Facebook that everybody knows about. Those work okay, but they don't work nearly as well as what we're talking about here. And these are the ads that I'm referring to. Okay, we're not going to be worrying about that. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, again, the easiest thing is to understand that you must create a fan page first. Okay, so let's say that you log into Facebook, and let's log out again. Okay, so let's say you log into Facebook. Let me use that particular account again. Okay, so I'm logging in here. Okay, again, here is that data feed. Okay, that you see every time you log in. And the great thing about this, I touched on it earlier, but the important thing about this technique is you can target things very, very specifically. So if you're selling any type of product, let's say it's a network marketing product, or an opportunity, or an internet marketing or affiliate marketing product, you can target exactly the type of people that you want to see that particular recommendation. and you will only target those people, and this post or your post will only appear in their data feed. So it's extremely effective. Okay, so the easiest way to do this, or to create a fan page initially, is you can go up here to the search box and type in let's just say any keyword that you want, okay, and pick a fan page, somebody's fan page, okay. And actually this doesn't appear to be a fan page, I apologize. We're looking for a fan page, and the reason is it's easiest to create a fan page like that, or like this, because if you go to any fan page, you see this little green button that comes up here. That will allow you to create your new page. Okay, now again, keep in mind that when we create this fan page, it doesn't even have to be anything special, especially in the beginning, because we're just using this as a foundation for your posts, okay, that we're going to be running these campaigns on. Alright, it doesn't have to be all fancy, the fan page itself. Over time, again, peripherally you'll get likes, you'll get a lot of engagement on the page over time, and then you can start maybe dressing up the page a little bit more, but initially you just have to create one. Okay, so go to any fan page that you want on Facebook, then you'll find this button here. You simply click Create Page, and then you pick the type of page that you'd like to set up. I typically create a cause or community page because it seems to be that's where everything goes to, and it works more effectively in creating a community for your products or your opportunity or whatever it happens to be. Okay, so what you do is you create a name for your page, and you can change this. So if you wanted to just put something in to go through the motions, you can. Let's just type in something like internet marketing, okay, hypothetically, and they're asking if we want to create a group. We do not. We want to create a fan page. So by clicking here, Get Started, you're agreeing to their terms. I always recommend reading anybody's terms of service, or TOS, just to get you familiar with what they like and what they don't like. But once you type in the name of your community or your fan page and try to make it something that makes sense, something that's within your niche, it doesn't necessarily have to be the name of your company, but keep in mind that if you are trying to rank your fan page within the search engines, you might want to use a specific keyword that you think might get a lot of searches a month, or it might be brand specific, because eventually when your page starts to really kick in, it will rank in and of itself, so you'll have another source of organic traffic. But for now, for the case of this tutorial, let's just continue. So let's click Get Started. Okay, and then what they do is they typically will walk you through some steps as to what you might want to do with your page. Okay, you can technically skip these things, or you could actually create them. It's just completely up to you. And the reason I say you might want to skip is because sometimes in the beginning you don't know exactly what you're going to say about your page or what have you, or maybe you're more prepared than I do and you do have that information handy. But anyway, what they're asking you to do is to create a short description about your page, okay, what your page might be about. Okay, so let's just, again, for the sake of this tutorial, all about internet marketing. Okay, again, you might want to make it more of a pre-sale, you might want to give a better description, but for the sake of this tutorial, you know what I mean. So let's just put a website in here. Now, when you put a website here, they're asking for this information, and this will be a clickable link, so do put the website or the squeeze page or whatever you need as a reference website in this space here, and then click Save Info. Okay, you can upload a picture from your computer, okay, and this will be that small image that you'll see on a fan page, not the large one but the smaller one. Okay, for now we're going to skip that, but this is some information or a picture or an image that maybe you have on your on your computer somewhere on your hard drive, or you might just want to find an image online. But either way, it has to be on your computer, and you can upload it by clicking here, or you can import it from a website. I think you get the idea. So let's skip this for now. If you had a photo, you just click continue. Okay. If you want to add to favorites, you could, and that is something on your actual screen where you can have easy reference to your fan page within Facebook, but I always use that little arrow up in the corner, so I typically don't do this. So let's skip for now. Now, Facebook always wants to try to, have you spend money with them initially, and here they're trying to make you create an ad, but that's not what we're trying to do at this point, so let's just skip for now. Okay, so they'll give you a little tutorial that you can go through, and you can keep clicking next if you want, or skip to get through. You don't need to do any of that for now. Okay, know just this: your page looks like this in the beginning. Your small image is here. You're going to be putting in a large image here. Okay, and the way to do that is, again, a cover photo, something large, so that you can put here and dress up your page a little bit. Again, something that has to do and that's relevant with what's going on. But to be honest with you, to do this campaign, especially in the beginning, you don't even need to do that. Over time, you can go to YouTube and figure out how to do this stuff to make it look nice. I'll go over some things now. But in the beginning, again, remember they're engaging within your data feed, not on the page itself. But to change a cover photo, again, this is something that you would have to have already downloaded to your computer. You just simply click this little camera here, add a cover, and then it'll say upload photo, and then you could literally get something from your computer to upload in that area. Okay. Also, if you wanted to change a lot of the description and things from the beginning, you can literally go in a few different places. Okay. For now, you can go to the About tab. Okay, and you can go through some of this information here, to change it as it were. Okay, so again, for the sake of this tutorial, let's just go back to one of the fan pages that I have. I just actually created a brand new one just last week, so let's go over there, and I'll show you all you've got to do to actually create this post, okay? This initial post that we're going to use for our campaign, okay? So here is a fan page, and the way to create this post is literally, I would have some type of content written already. You can put it down in a notepad or however you want to keep track of it. I would have some type of content written, some type of copy that you would like for people to see for your post. Again, whatever you want them to do, you can instruct them to do so within this post. Okay? For instance, this is a brand new post here that is basically directed to people in the United Kingdom, and it's asking, it's presenting a business opportunity, and it's asking for them to contact a point of contact over in the UK, and it's also telling them that they can put email information in the comment area below. Okay, but again, if I wanted to, let's say, put a link in here and send them to a fan page, a squeeze page, a landing page, a sizzle page, a website, it doesn't matter. You simply just create this content, okay? You write the content, okay? Let's say that this is the content I'm creating. And let's say that I wanted to create a website. You put the entire link in here, okay? Okay, so you literally put this in just like this, and once you post it, it'll be a clickable link, so they can go exactly where you want them to go. Okay, so I think you got the idea of how you create this. You literally just, write your words or paste the words that you've already put somewhere else and created it. And if you want to, you can go to this particular fan page as an example of some copy that you might want to put in, for what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, and this fan page is called JM Ocean Avenue hyphen Join the Revolution. So you can literally just type that into your search box here, and you would find this fan page. Again, this is brand new, but for the sake of our tutorial here, this will work. So once you actually put in the information, the content that you want, to upload a photo, you're going to click this button here, okay, and this will allow you again to upload a photo that you have chosen and that's already on your hard drive. Now let me digress here for a moment, because let me address again how important this photo is. Okay, so what you want to do is, when choosing a photo, you want to make sure that you don't necessarily choose a photo based on what you're recommending, okay, because you have to think in terms of marketing. And when you're thinking in terms of marketing, you want to get people's attention. Okay, so it has to be something very colorful. I would do something with no words. For whatever reason, Facebook does not like to use for you to be able to use words in these images when you're making these ads. They don't allow it. Okay, so it has to be without words, and it has to be, typically what works best for us are bright colors, especially red. Don't use a lot of blues, because that blends in with what Facebook has as a background color. And so something to get people's attention. Sex sells, the old adage. So you have nothing obviously over the top. It wouldn't get approved anyway. But a beautiful woman, a handsome man. All those type of things sell. Animals sell very well. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to do with what your content is. Just try to think about getting people's attention in that timeline. Okay? And again, if we go to an example of a timeline here, this is what they're going to be engaging with, is that image. And that is how you capture their attention. Okay? Very, very important. So make sure that you use an image that will reflect, something exciting, something eye-catching, something that will make people go, oh, what's that? And then obviously, if it's in their data feed, these are people that you have selected specifically to market to. So it's going to get their attention not only with the image, but then when they start to see your content, it's really going to draw them in so they can click on that post and engage with your content. Okay? So once you actually use, include that image and you got the content, and then you actually click post, okay, which right now it's saying boost post, but this particular, it'll say post here, and you post it, then it'll appear just like a regular post on a fan page. Okay, and once you do that, okay, it'll look just like a regular post on a fan page. Okay, but again, that in and of itself isn't as important as what it's going to look like in somebody's data feed. Because remember, when somebody is responding to it on their data feed, they're going to be clicking that image, and this is what they're going to be seeing in their screen. They're not even on your fan page. Okay? I just need to reinforce that. Alright, so once you have a post, how the heck do you run a campaign on it? And what is a campaign? Okay. Now to the nitty-gritty. Here's the bread and butter, and this is the most important part of this, and this is how we're going to target everybody specifically, and this is how we draw people in to our post, and more importantly, to make sure that they follow through with our recommendation. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our profile page. Okay, and this is important. Alright, we're not going to be, even though we're using a post from a fan page, we need to go back to our profile page in order to run a campaign. So again, using this little arrow up here, I'm going to go back to my actual profile page. Okay, now keep in mind that, and this is something that you might run across, so I'm going to address it now. If you haven't done anything that involves payment on Facebook, they're going to want for you to set up a credit card or a debit card or something like that, so that when you start to run your campaigns, Facebook typically bills you once a month, so when they bill you, they have somewhere to get their money from. Okay, I'm just letting you know that. But when you're at your profile page, here's what's going to happen. You go up to this little arrow, and you want to select, with this drop down list, you're going to select create ads. Okay, now here are your choices in creating an ad. Believe it or not, even though some of these look like they might be more appropriate for what you're trying to accomplish, what we're looking for is this one, which is boost your posts. So you're going to left click there, and then this allows you to choose which page that you want to find this post on to run the campaign. So let's just stay with the same page that we were on. Okay, I'm going to select the fan page, and then what's going to happen is your latest post, or in your case, it'll be the first post, so it'll be one and the same. They're going to show you which post is the last one created, and if it's not the one that you want to run a campaign on, just click this down arrow and select which one on the page that you do want to run a campaign on. Obviously, if you're doing this for the first time, there's only going to be one in there. Okay, so let's just use that particular post that I already have up, just for the sake of this demo, and then we want to click continue. Okay, now the first thing that they're going to ask for is your campaign name. Okay, so don't make it too complicated. This is actually for your own reference. No one's going to see this but you. So you can create something, the name of your campaign. Let's just say Internet Marketing Campaign 1. Okay, something simple. And what I like to do is copy this, and there's another place down here where I actually put this also, and this is to actually name your ad set, and I'll explain more about that later. But just use the same name, that way you don't confuse yourself. Okay, so once you've put in the campaign name, here's the bread and butter of what we're doing here. Okay, the first thing is locations. We want to target specific locations, or if you want to target specific locations, you can target different countries, you can target cities, you can target different towns. It's very specific. So in this case, we're in the United States. Let's just say that I wanted to target Greece. Okay, you can literally pick it, and then you'll see a little drop down, and you select it, and this is giving you the option for all Greece. Now if you wanted to add a specific country, a province, a city, a zip code, you can do that, and you can get very specific as to where you want to target your campaign. Okay, again, this is so that we put our post in the data feed of only the people that we want to target. This is why this is so powerful. Okay, so I think you get the idea of how that works. And I also want you to take a notice of this reach down here. Right now it's given us 4.2 million people, okay, and this just gives us a better idea of who we're trying to target. But to be honest, once you actually get this very targeted, it's typically going to be 1 million or less, because we're going to get real specific. Okay, so demographics is something that you want to kind of understand really even before you do your post and you run these campaigns. Okay, and when you're talking about age, gender, languages, that type of thing, this is something that you might want to know, or not might, you definitely need to know before you continue with your campaign. That way you know who your target audience is. Okay, the easiest way that I have found to do this, okay, there's a couple different ways, but I think you'll get the idea. If you went over to Google and you typed in, let's say, your main keyword, let's say it was internet marketing. Okay, let's say that was my niche, that was my keyword. What's going to happen is you're going to find what Google thinks is at least at this time, the top 10 websites for internet marketing, okay, or at least, who is really optimizing well for that word within Google, okay? So let's just choose, and by the way, these are the paid results up here and on the right. We don't want that. We want the organic results, which are typically the first 10 here, okay? This looks to be the first one organically, and all we're looking for is the actual website itself, okay, and I'll explain why in a second. So if we clicked on this, and this is a website again that is obviously doing very well in their targeting for that keyword, okay, so that's somebody that we might want to check out as far as demographics, because as far as your target market, the people that are going to his site or her site or this site will be the same customers that you're getting to your site. So those demographics will be accurate for what we're looking to accomplish, right? So there are several sites where you can do this. In fact, you can Google a couple of different sites, but I like to use Alexa.com, okay? And what you can do is, and this is basically for analytics, so you can get your demographics pretty much down, okay? And the website that we just copied, that's in our niche, we can paste it here and click find, okay? Now, I will tell you for Alexa, you will get some of the demographics that you need for free, but if you wanted to get more detailed demographics, you have to pay, a few dollars a month or whatever it is. And I choose to, because I've used Alexa for a long time. You can find other alternatives that are free for all of the data that you need. But again, just for this particular scenario, we'll go over what we can see here. But you can see, as far as demographics, just by me using that, you can get a good idea of who's coming to that particular site. We've got more female than male. We've got some college as the most, and people are browsing at school mostly at internet marketing. Interesting, okay? And what's really powerful about finding this data is usually you're wrong, and I've been doing this for years, and a lot of times I think I know what the audience is going to be, and I'm totally wrong. So this is very helpful information. You can see what states want most of the information. It's just very powerful information. That way you can go back, and when you're actually looking at what Facebook is asking for, you can be pretty accurate as to what they need, okay? So let's go back, and let's just say the ages that we were looking for, or that we're trying to target, is 30 to, you can change all this information. Is 30 to 55, and if we go along with the example, we know now that they're women, okay? And let's look at languages, and here you're almost always going to use, unless obviously you're doing something different, you're going to use English US, okay? If you're targeting Greece specifically, obviously you're going to target the language. But most of the time when I'm doing these ads, it's US English, okay? If you look here where it says more demographics, you can get more specific. In our example, we looked at some college, right? So if we select education and then education level, you can actually pick out in college, okay? Or college grad, or whatever it happens to be. So you can get very specific, okay? Now, the next area is the most important area, because this is going to tell us who is going to see our post. In other words, what they're going to be seeing in their data feed, right, like we talked about. So if we're looking at internet marketing, we might want to put in entrepreneur, and again, you're going to get populated from what Facebook thinks you're looking for. And when you put that information in, it'll show you the amount of people, 70 million people, that are engaged in that online, or I should say on Facebook, okay? So now your post is going to start to show on people that are interested in entrepreneurship, their data feed. You see where this is going? And you just keep thinking about different keywords that would be appropriate for what you're trying to accomplish. Now, I will tell you that what I typically like to do is think about events, I like to think about brands, and I like to think about famous people, okay? Now, the reason I say that is because those topics work extremely well for these interests. And you also use just random keywords that you think people might be interested in within, your niche or what you're trying to, recommend. All right. For instance, if obviously this is an internet marketing scenario, that would be one of my keywords, internet marketing, right? So I might pick that. Okay. And, if we're looking for particular famous people, now famous people, I mean famous people within that niche. So if I'm thinking about internet marketing, I might put someone like Frank Kern in there. Okay, just big people within internet marketing, okay, or within your particular niche. Again, those three topics, I'll usually use 3 from each of those, okay? And again, those were famous people, events, or brands. Okay, and again, a brand would be something within your niche, not just any random brand. Okay, the idea is we're trying to find people, again, that are interested in what we're trying to recommend. Okay, for the internet marketing field, I need ambitious people. I need people that, think differently, that are entrepreneurs. So I might start putting things in and this would be under brand. Okay. Entrepreneur Magazine. Okay. Inc. Inc. Magazine. Okay, Fortune. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, Tony Robbins would be a famous person that is obviously all about personal development. But again, people that are listening to Tony Robbins are going to be interested in what I have to recommend in this scenario. But I think you get the idea of what we're trying to do. Okay, and let's see. So again, as you're doing this, and because of what we're looking at here, we're not going to get everything very specific here because we're not doing an actual campaign. But again, you can start to see what this looks like over here and the growth that you're having. So again, make sure that you're putting in every keyword and the famous people, the brands, the events within that niche that you can. There's no limit to how many of these you can put in there. And again, this will just show the people that we want to target our post. So I think you get an idea of how important interests are. And again, put in there as many as you can, and this number will typically be at 1 million or less, which is what you want, because you want to target these people. Okay? Now I will say this: if you're actually selling something online, if you actually have a retail product or you want somebody to buy something, under behaviors, if you browse and you choose digital activities, you can actually go to online spenders, okay? And you could actually find people that are buying online or spending money online, like online spenders, active, engaged, that gets it even more specific. Okay, so again, only if you're selling something specifically, but that's another helpful thing to know. Connections, all, this is going to stay the same by default. Your budget, this is up to you, but you can spend as little as $1 a day. To start, I typically like to start at $5 a day. My company runs these at hundreds of dollars a day. But $5 a day, you can do incredibly well, and you'd be blown away by what you can do. So you can put in $5 here, okay? You're going to keep this as default, run my ad set continuously starting today, okay? Now, this is also very important. When it comes to bidding, optimize for page post engagement is by default, but we want to select optimize for clicks, okay? Under pricing, we also do not want it to be automatically optimized. We want to manually set your maximum bid for clicks. Now you'll notice their suggested bid range here from 14 cents to 34 cents. We always like to start at the bottom of that range, and this you will change, but this is just to begin, okay? So change that there to the lowest part of this range. That's all we need to do there. And then finally, we're at step 3, which is create your ad. We actually create the ad by just giving a few simple directions. Incidentally, this stuff might be rearranged in your back office, but you will cover all of these things in the same way. So for this section here, desktop news feed, we want that because that's going to show our data feed, and this shows you, the ad, just in case for some reason you picked the wrong post. We also want the mobile news feed. Okay, this is for mobile phones. We do not want the right column, so we want to remove that. Okay, that's it. Then we simply click place order. Now, I will tell you again, if you haven't set up any payment history through Facebook, they will want your details for your credit cards, etc., etc. And again, they bill about once a month. Okay? Now, since I'm not creating this particular ad, we're just going to go through the motions. Let's just say that I placed the order. Once you actually place the order, it takes anywhere from a few hours to 24 hours for Facebook to approve it. Once they do approve it, okay, then it will take another few hours to typically start working until you start seeing some information. To be able to see what's going on, to change prices, etc., etc., here's what you need to do. Again, once it's already been created, and once you obviously have your post created within that fan page, you're going to go up to this arrow again, okay, and now when you click on it, you're going to see a choice for manage ads, and we're going to select that, okay. And I don't think I have any campaigns running right now. Actually, I have one that I just started today. But here is the back office for your campaigns, okay? So what's going to happen is you're only going to be looking at this first line here because that's the only campaign that you have going. But in order to see what's going on with this campaign, you're going to go ahead and left-click this area, and this is what you named it before. Left-click there, so once. Okay, then it shows you, what's going on, what type of engagement you're getting as far as this bar graph. But this information isn't really what we need to see yet, so we need to click this link again. Okay, we still see the graph, but now we start to see clicks. Now we start to see click-through rate and information that's important. Now, here's the most important information for us. We want to be able to gauge what it's actually costing us per click. So once you're approved and once your ad starts, you start seeing some data back here, knowing that it's running, you're going to want to pay very close attention to this information. After it, I would run it for about 24 to 48 hours, and once you do, you're going to start to see what the average price per click or the cost per click actually is on that ad. And to change that, because if we picked, a higher price here, we need to change that to what the actual price is, because we want to, at the end of the day, get, pay less for clicks, right? So the way to do this is, let's say that, and in fact I can show you this live because right now I'm sent over what I need to be. So what I'm going to do is come over here and click this link one more time. So this will be the third click. And now you can see this information down here. You can see the image of your post. You can see some performance here. More importantly, if you wanted to change stuff, you can go in here and edit information. Okay? Right now, we're trying to change this bid to where it needs to be, so we need to click right here under targeting. It'll open up these screens up here, and we need to go to where it says budget. We need to edit that, and then we want to change it so that it's accurate and we're paying less. Okay, so we change this to what it was, 18, so we can match our CPC, and we click save. Okay, and now you can see my max bid has been changed to what it is on the CPC. And here's what happens over time. This works so well that this price will keep coming down, and this price you'll be able to lower less and less and less. So even though you're paying $5 a day, let's say, you'll be getting a lot more clicks for your money. Okay? So that's how you keep track of everything. And again, if you needed to change anything within the ad, if you say, oh my, I forgot to add a country or whatever it is, you do all of that through here after you've clicked that link 3 times. Okay? To get back to the original screen of the campaigns, you can just go here and click where it says campaigns. Okay, and this will take you back to that original screen. And again, if you click it once, you see the start of the information. You click it twice. Okay, you start to see the clicks, the click-through rate. But if you click it 3 times, that will allow you to do certain things within the post and the campaign. Okay? So in a nutshell, that's it. That's all that you need to know to run these campaigns on your fan page posts. And again, just to give you an idea of how well these work, and again, you know, you don't have to run these for a long period of time at all. This is extremely cost effective, you know, for whatever you're trying to do, and it works very, very well. Okay. Let me just look real quick here so I can show you, you know, just how powerful these can be. Well, I showed you earlier, but I'll just show you another example. And these are old posts, so it might take me a little while to scroll down and see. This is for a skincare product. Let's see. I don't want to scroll anymore, but you can see here's one that we did. Again, this was actually last year, and we only ran it for a few days, but it reached 67,000 people, 164 likes, more importantly 59 comments. And the comments, again, we instructed people to do a certain thing, and in this case it was to give us an email address so we can send them some information. You can see just tons of people sent email addresses. 59 people, so that's 59 new leads, you know, for this particular scenario that we were able to get in contact with. Okay, now what's interesting is here, let me show you a better example. I have tons of these, but okay, here's a powerful one here. This is it's about the opportunity, a business opportunity. This is to Papua New Guinea, which is one of the countries we just, you know, started to target. 21,000 people reached, 65 comments. It's a very, very powerful thing, and we're telling people exactly what we want them to do within this post, and they do it. Again, if you're trying to build lists, you're trying to send people to squeeze pages, anything that you want to send targeted traffic to, this is by far the best. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed and got a lot out of this video, and I hope you take these Facebook campaigns to a tremendous level for you and your business. So have a fantastic week. This is Gary Gregory signing off. Take good care.